again, everybody, it's me, Madame Macabre, and welcome back to another video. Today's story time is a bit of a cranky one. See, it's interesting because this is actually my very first time I've ever experienced something like this. I know it happens to a lot of people all over the place, but this was my honest-to-God first time experiencing this, so it got me a little bit fired up. So I'm assuming most of you guys know who Shadow Kisses is. She did a guest video on my main channel talking about a true paranormal experience she had as a child. Anyway, we have been best friends since high school, and obviously we hang out a lot and do a lot of things together. So earlier this week, we had spent the day running around doing our shopping and errands together because it's more fun with a friend than having to drag yourself out there and do it alone. Well, it had been a very long day, and we had just finished every other chore on our list, and we decided, hey, let's swing by the store, and we'll get a nice bottle of wine. That way we can relax and watch some really corny old horror movies. So, we head on over to the store, and we go in, and, you know, obviously when you go to a store with friends, you spend some time just screwing around, looking at things you don't need. But it was interesting because from the moment we came in the store, and I thought about dropping the name of the store and all that, but I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, so the moment we enter the store, there's this guy. He's a little overweight. He's got these, like, too small for his head wireframe glasses, heavy acne, and almost a bowl cut. And this gentleman, from the second the two of us walk in the store together, he just is giving us this heavy stink eye. And I'm like, okay, maybe he had a bad day, whatever. So we ignore it and we go off and we do our business, which entails, haha, look at this, look at that. You know, oh, do we need this? No, we don't. You know, just screwing around the grocery store. But the entire time we are in there, this guy is just like tailing us, this employee I should mention. He's got the uniform on, the vest. He is tailing us, continuing to give us this vile, nasty stink eye. And, you know, I'm seeing it in my peripheral vision, and I'm like, what is this guy's deal? He didn't even greet us when he came into the store. He just kind of looked us up and down and just gave us the nasty eyes. I don't know, maybe he was training for security and he was trying to practice his stealth on us. Needs to level up that skill. But anyway, as I mentioned, I found the brand I was looking for after a while, and when we were done screwing around the store, we make our way up to the checkout. Now mind you, it's weird, the store is like bizarrely empty. There's only one checkout lane open, like no other employees in sight, just the creepy dude that's tailing us, and then the lady who's working the cash register. And she kind of eyeballs me and Shadow Kisses, and she also gives us this kind of stinky eye. And I'm just like, what is going on with the store? Are they just not friendly here? I don't know. Maybe I'm wearing too much black. I don't know. But so we go up, try and check out, and we both have our IDs ready. We are both well over 21, so it should not be a problem. However, one thing I should note is while I was in Italy, I actually managed to lose my driver's license. So, needless to say, I had to get a new one. But it takes a really long time for your hard copy to arrive. So I had my government-issued paper one. I literally went down to the DMV to get a new one. I didn't want to print it out because I hated my old photo. So, I sat in the DMV for like 3 hours just so I could get my new ID. Now mind you, it was paper, but this should not have been any sort of problem because in Washington state law, according to our law, acceptable forms of ID also include government-issued temporary driver's licenses, which I had, and it was government-issued. So I hand it to her. She's still giving me and Shadow Kisses this stink eye, looks at my card, and looks at me and is like, I won't take this. Excuse me? What's the problem? You need to have a real one. This is a real one. That's paper. Ma'am, that's a temporary license. I lost my previous license when I was abroad, and the government issued me this temporary one while they are getting me my new hard copy. I'm not gonna take this. Ma'am, can I speak to your manager, please? So, she calls for the manager, and lo and behold, guess who comes up to the counter? Waddling up to the counter comes Mr. Corner Creeper. And in all this time, he had not once softened up that pissy expression like someone just farted right in his frickin' face. And at that point, we're like, oh boy, this is gonna be fantastic. Here we go. So he comes over, he looks at the ID, says, "We don't take those." "Sir, according to Washington state law, this is an acceptable form of identification." "That's true, there isn't a law against it, but I don't take those." "Sir, is it posted anywhere in the store? I looked on the website. There is nothing about this store." "I knew I was coming here, sir. I looked up your store policy to make sure this would work so it wouldn't be a wasted trip. It's not posted anywhere in the store. It's not against the law." "That's true, but I don't accept those, especially not from you." And he gave me and Shadow Kisses the nastiest look. And it was a moment of processing that I realized, oh my God, now I know why he's being so nasty. He looks at her, looks at me. He thinks we're a couple. The nastiness, both of them, the vile looks, the cold mannerisms, all this because he thinks we're a gay couple. Now, mind you, he was wrong. Both Shadow Kisses and I are straight, but that should not matter. What matters is the fact that he perceived us as a gay couple, and because of that, he felt he had the right to discriminate against us and treat us poorly. He had no legal reason to turn me away for that ID. He was just being spiteful and discriminating. I could tell Shadow Kiss's anxiety was starting to raise, and I could feel my own temper starting to boil over at this realization. So we just gathered up our IDs and just walked right out of there. Every fiber of my being wanted to chew him out, but I just knew, you know what? It's not worth it. It is not worth it today. But let me tell you guys, it is incredible that this kind of behavior still exists. And even more incredible, we live in Washington state, one of the most liberal and open-minded states in the entire freaking United States. And this still happened. I mean, this is only the first time I've ever experienced this, and it was just from a misunderstanding. So I can't even imagine what it must actually be like for people who constantly get this sort of treatment in their everyday life because they really are a gay couple. I'm honestly at a loss here. Now, while I may not have listed the store location and the employee's name for internet retribution, I do realize that his prejudice is not okay, because he's just gonna keep doing this to anyone else he perceives as being gay, and that is not all right. People just wanna go and buy a bottle of wine, leave them alone. So I did the least I could do in this situation, and I went to the corporate website of said store and reported this location and that manager in specific. So hopefully at least something will be done. I guess the main purpose of this video is just, can we all please just make an effort to be decent to one another? I mean, we don't have to agree 100% with what everybody does, but the least you can do is just be nice. Or if even that is too much to ask of you, at least when you're working in service, pretend to be nice. That is your job. That's what you're getting paid for. You are not getting paid to judge people on how you perceive their lifestyle, okay? I don't really care about your opinion on that issue. I didn't ask for your opinion, and I don't much like your opinion. I don't know, it's just the fact that there are people out there willing to be openly hostile and nasty to people just because they're different. It makes me sad, and I'm honestly disgusted that this stuff still goes on in this day and age, especially considering where I live, but just goes to show, jerks can be everywhere. I genuinely hope none of you guys have to experience discrimination simply because of your identity, and if you have experienced it, I am so sorry. I don't know, guys. I'm getting off to a rambling point. I don't want this video to snowball and get super long or anything. I just wanted to share that terribly unpleasant story and sort of, rant and get it out of my system because I've been mulling it over this week and it's been making me madder and madder. So I figure, get it out and, don't think about it anymore. So, have you guys experienced something similar? Has somebody misread a situation that you were in and reacted to it? Have you been actively discriminated because your identity? I'm honestly really sorry about that, and if you'd like to share in the comments below, please feel free to. But that is all the time I have for today's video. So if you liked this video, please consider leaving a like. And if you are new here and want to see more videos of me talking, sometimes funny, sometimes serious and angry like this, it's a grab bag. If you'd like more of that, please consider subscribing. But that is all I have for today, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye.